Dinner to Go is chaotic fun. This is the third episode of the 8th season of Minnie's Bow-Toons, or the third episode of Camp Minnie. And Clarabelle is driving their van up this hill because they want to see the shooting stars. And it's a very bumpy ride. And meanwhile, in the back, Minnie is trying to make a pizza. But needless to say, trying to make a pizza while Clarabelle is bouncing this van up the hill, it's not a recipe for success, and food is flying everywhere. It's very, very messy. It's very silly fun, and I can imagine this episode appealing particularly to a lot of young children, but I also found it very delightful for a couple of reasons. One, it's very well animated. That's usually the case with Minnie's Bow-Toons, but I found that this one had a lot going on. It was very busy. Food was flying everywhere. It was really, really engaging. I also laughed out loud at one point, which doesn't happen that often with Minnie's Bow-Toons, but I did. And I'll explain the bit that I found particularly funny in a moment, with a spoiler warning, just in case you don't want me to give away the funny aspect. But it's brilliant. It's very, very well done. We have, the four of them together, Minnie, Daisy, Cuckoo Loca, and Clarabelle. I'm not the biggest fan of Clarabelle as a character, but actually in Bow-Toons, I quite like her. I think she's pretty decent in Minnie's Bow-Toons, and it's good fun. What we get to see of the outdoors is beautiful as well. Very well animated, great pacing, very chaotic, and very, very delightful. So very briefly, the bit that I actually laughed out loud at. Clarabelle is driving up this hill, and flour keeps going everywhere, and Cuckoo Loca keeps getting covered in flour. And the bit I loved the most is when she says something to the effect of, "At least I didn't get covered in flour this time." There's a beat, and then she's covered in flour. It doesn't sound funny, but I just love Cuckoo Loca. I think she's such a funny, entertaining character. I love her dry humor, and yeah, that bit amused me quite a lot. So definitely a really good episode, very chaotic, and an absolute delight.